Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
If you want to say something, you are permitted to do so.
Yeah, I want to thank the respected leader. I'm only building upon where my predecessors left off, and I can guarantee you there will be no discrimination. Let me make you happy. We are just about to start work on the Winneba Junction, Winneba Roundabout, and do it all the way to the university, and a lot of work around Winneba, just to signal that there's continuity in development. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, this is a happy news. And Mr. Speaker, this is a happy news that I want my constituents to hear this good news coming from the Honorable Minister, that from the roundabout all the way into main town, Winneba, is scheduled to be worked on. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minority Leader, file another urgent question. That will be a constituency specific question. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, let me confirm from the Honorable Minister whether or not it is the operationalization of the law that has been suspended and not an attempt to set aside the law as passed by Parliament. Whether or not that's the case.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, a minister has no such powers to suspend a law passed by Parliament. Indeed, it is the operationalization that became problematic, leading to the advice to further engage to make sure that the labor front at the ministry is peaceful. So as of now, that law hasn't changed. If there will be any further decision on that particular act, I will come to the House and make that known to the House.
Yes, Honorable. Honorable, I rule that we will limit supplementary questions to one each. So I intend.
One of the Ghana Highway Authority particularly raised fundamental issues on a number of clauses in the Act. I'm unable to start mentioning the clauses and what the concerns there are that they've raised. I believe all that have been filed as evidence to the Attorney General's office, and I am very confident that after a review of those, the Attorney General will be seized with enough fact to advise on the way forward. So I cannot begin to share some of them because it will be half work done. What about the ones I'm unable to share? So I'm unable to start attempting to share some of the details of their consent. But all those details have been filed to the Attorney General's office for advice.
Yes, Honorable Nitiwood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, apart from the Ghana Highway Authority, as you mentioned, which other agencies raised labor issues or were involved in the decision to refer the Act to the Attorney General about the suspension? Which are the other agencies?
Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, significantly, the concerns are largely from Ghana Highway Authority. Indeed, we have the Ghana Highway Authority, the urban roads and feeder roads, and to an extent, road fund, which is insignificant in terms of the size of their operations. So I can confirm that much of the concern is from Ghana Highway Authority. Yes, and Ghana Highway Authority is the most significant in terms of numbers and operation in the three units under the ministry. Mr. Speaker, I agree entirely with the respected minority leader that we are all learning in the House, and especially we should conduct business in such a way that the newcomers would learn. Indeed, it is good. The confidence by which my colleague spoke is good, and I would encourage you to keep it up. The only slight difference is that I'm not going to discourage you. I can tell you, once upon a time, I was like you. And you grow to be even older than me. What you read, what it meant is that when the papers are available, Mr. Speaker is the one who gets to know. It can only be made available to us after it is laid. Say, once sufficient copies are available. I thought you were going to say that now that it has been laid, we want copies now. But since you didn't say that, there's no need for us to be given a copy even right now. So I would say that you actually did well by the particular interpretation you gave. The person who should see it before it's laid is just, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that it's placed on the other paper. But I want to encourage you. It doesn't matter. You've made it. Today we all learn from it. Tomorrow, including myself and yourself. Since you are encouraging him, we have all learned out of this. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we should encourage
Honourable members, I think it's an important issue that you have raised, but let's look at it critically so that it doesn't reoccur. Whenever sufficient copies of a paper have been received in the office of the clerk for distribution, so sufficient copies are not to be distributed to members. Therefore, at this point of laying, you cannot be justified in saying that sufficient copies are not distributed to you. When it is ready in the office of the clerk, that is what the provision is saying. Then, to members on notice of the presentation of the paper may be placed on the other paper. So when sufficient copies are ready, notice is then placed on the other paper. At that point, the paper will not be distributed. Okay. It went further to say that, and when the speaker announces presentation of papers, the person laying the paper shall rise and bow to the chair, and the clerk shall read the title of the paper, and the paper shall be considered to have been laid on the table. So the stage that we are now, it will therefore not be within the rules for you to be raising an issue that copies are not on the console or copies are not electronically distributed. So where we are now, the clerks have not complained of not having sufficient copies. So therefore, they place it on the other paper pursuant to receipt of sufficient copies. So what I am supposed to do is to mention it, the member get up to bow, then it is carried. It is after that that any distribution can be carried out. So if you are saying that electronically or manually, we cannot do that before getting to this particular stage.
Mr. Speaker, I've guided. But what I was saying is that, okay. No, I want to find, okay. Mr. Speaker.
But, Honorable, why?
Please.
Why?
Yes, Mr. Speaker called me.
Why? Please resume your seat. Why? We are here to do business.
Mr. Speaker. No. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
So if pursuant to this, there is going to be a debate, then you can insist that the papers are not distributed. So therefore, we cannot proceed with the debate. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I've also been in this house for some time now. If it is possible, the tradition has always been same that the clerks at table will make papers that have been laid available to members. So if it is possible, the clerks, before you lay, once you know the papers have been laid, you make sufficient copies so that this type of complaint doesn't come. So
well, Honorable Nitiwood, I'm looking at the stage of the complaint.
Okay.
He is of the view that before we carry out this exercise of laying, sufficient copies must be made to members, and that is not the case. So it is after this stage. That's all that I am saying. Honourable members, yes, it's now time for statements. Yes, Honourable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to my earlier application for leave, which leave was granted, save that I should pursue it at the right time, I believe that this is the opportune time to proceed. Mr. Speaker, an economy cannot be run where there are no payments for work done by the private sector. We've been hearing of the cedi being stable lately, which is good. But where the Ministry of Finance has come to this house, presented the budget statements, this house approving appropriation, then 3 months down the line, no payments are being made. Releases to ministries are delaying. We don't know what the problem is. The roads minister, for instance, is in this chamber. He has to pay contractors. Road fund payments. They even decapped it. They said no more capping. What is happening? Ministry of Trade and Industry. Ministry of Education. Mr. Speaker, all ministries are complaining. Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying all ministers, I say all ministries. All ministries. If
But
the
Honourable
Minister of
Minority Leader, with all due respect,
yes, Mr. Speaker,
the ministries are complaining to you, or they are complaining to the majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
they are complaining to all of
Mr. Speaker,
This man complained to me, this man. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, what is happening today has happened before. Buffer stock, you recall, Mr. Speaker, you recall, in 2023, 2024, suppliers came to Parliament to protest. They actually petitioned Parliament because buffer stock had delayed their payment and their bankers were chasing them. Mr. Speaker, recently we saw in the news, EcoBank meeting the Ministry of Finance because businesses have taken loans from the banks. They met them, they encouraged the ministry to make payment. Mr. Speaker, the banks are worried. To sustain the banking sector, the Ministry of Finance must pay the private sector. Mr. Speaker, the ministries would have to execute the agenda for the year. And if they don't have what it takes to execute, how can they execute? Mr. Speaker, the finance minister must come to this house. He must be programmed to come to explain what circumstances are leading to all of these. Only a day or so ago, he came here with an urgent bill for this D-levy. The House, by majority decision, approved it. Mr. Speaker, we are interested. If the ministry is involved in any reforms, we need to know as a House. What is delaying payment? After Parliament has appropriated, the Minister of Finance will decide not to take action, and contractors are leaving sites. Suppliers have gone for loans.
Minority Leader, I thought the approval was by unanimous decision.
Mr. Speaker, which approval?
The approval. I put a question.
On the bill?
Yes.
No, Mr. Speaker. There was some objection. You said
No.
the ayes have it.
Yes.
Yes, but there were nays. And we came under a particular order of the House to challenge for head count.
And I want to count you. And you were not available to be counted.
It was not a unanimous decision, Mr. Speaker.
And you were not available to be counted.
The records have it that the majority approved that bill. If you check the report was by majority decision.
How do you walk out after voting?
Mr. Speaker, we didn't vote for that bill. And we will never vote for that D-levy. Mr. Speaker, you say you are against E-levy, which is bringing only 1.6 billion. And then you introduce 5.7 billion levy and will support. No. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Environment and Science needs its resources to function. The Ministry of Interior, our police, our prison service, Mr.
Honorable
Speaker,
Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, please.
with all due respect, I think a bill passed by this House cannot amount to a matter of urgent public importance.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not talking about the bill. I only related to it.
Yes, so speak to...
I should stay on the actual matter.
Yes, stay on
but
track.
Mr. Speaker, there are tangential issues. Please permit me. This is a debate. Don't limit the space.
Well,
Of
if
course,
you
Mr.
want to
Speaker,
raise
when
the
I use
matter...
debate in this context, you
If
should
you
understand.
want to raise the matter of urgent
Mr. Speaker,
public
this is
importance,
advocacy.
it's not open for
Very well, Mr. Speaker,
debate.
that's fine. That's fine. Mr. Speaker, this government came into office riding on the back of the mantra reset. The true meaning of that mantra, resetting Ghana, should not include delay in releases to ministries and agencies. If the ministries have a function to perform, they need resources. And this House has approved resources for the ministries. And the Ministry of Finance is refusing to release these resources. We need to know. Mr. Speaker, we need to know. Mr. Speaker, it's not about how many minutes. This is an important matter. And let's be very careful. Mr. Speaker, what is the negative impact of the actions of the minister on the economy? That we should interrogate. Okay? Mr. Speaker, I do not expect any of us to encourage this. Mr. Speaker, very well, if the Chief Whip wants to come in, I will let him come in.
Majority Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, in pursuance of Order 93.1, I rise to checkmate the minority leader in respect of the statement that is presently making. First, the content of the statement is not known to us because you sought your leave to raise a matter of some importance. And so he started. But he's digressing to other matters. So within the terms of the 93.1, 2, 3, and 4, we may have opportunity to comment on the matters that he's raised. But we don't have a copy of what he's raising. So, Mr. Speaker, if he's minded, then yes, then we can be guided.
Or as he indicated that we should allow the backbenchers, if you want to go by his interpretation, do you have sufficient copies?
Oh, it's okay. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
But have you distributed copies?
Mr. Speaker, I would give him my copy so that he can make an input. Mr. Speaker, It's been several months since, Mr. Speaker, this House received countless petitions and complaints from local contractors who have executed state-sanctioned projects ranging from road construction to school infrastructure and health facilities, yet have been left unpaid for months, and in many cases, these contractors have not been given answers. These are not speculative claims, Mr. Speaker, they are facts. Certificates for completed works have been duly validated and submitted. Contracts have been honored in full by the service providers. But the Ministry of Finance, which is responsible for disbursing these payments, continuously denying these contractors of their payments. Mr. Speaker, ministries and agencies that had their budgets approved for the 2025 financial year are still struggling because of these delays. Mr. Speaker, of particular mention is that of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, including its agency, the Road Fund, is not doing any payment because the funds are not there. Mr. Speaker, for us, it's not about the reliction of duty. It is an economic injustice of great proportions. While the government tout figures and projections of economic growth and stability, the lived experiences of contractors, they are workers. Mr. Speaker, when the contractors are not paid, it's not just about them, the workers, the effect on employment, creating more unemployment and the livelihood of their families and dependents. Mr. Speaker, these are matters that must be of concern to us. Mr. Speaker, the cascading effects of these non-payments are very profound, and we all know as a house. Collapse of local businesses. For the foreign contractors, they may have a backing from their home. They may have cheaper sources of funding. What about our local contractors? They take bank loans at a high interest rate. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, these contractors are having to lay off workers, downsize operation, or even shut down completely due to cash flow constraints. So what has become of the one job, three shifts? These contractors who could have taken advantage of the one job, three shifts, the 24-hour economy, have nothing to do. Mr. Speaker, those who are affected are not only the entrepreneurs, they are the masons, the carpenters, the electricians, the trotro drivers, the transport operators. Mr. Speaker, all of who are part of the value chain in the industry. Then, Mr. Speaker, its effect on non-performing loans. Mr. Speaker, a significant number of contractors are pre-financed by the commercial banks. Therefore, if they are not getting payment, the non-performing loans affect their business and affect the banks. Mr. Speaker, we tired of the lip service. The Ministry of Finance must walk the talk. Their actions are threatening the financial sector and its stability and putting pressure on an already strained banks. Then store developmental projects. Mr. Speaker, from store roads in our rural communities to abandoned classroom blocks and health posts, the developmental agenda of this nation is grinding to a halt. Citizens are being denied access to critical infrastructure. And Mr. Speaker, directly connected to this is the erosion of investor confidence. Mr. Speaker, if our economy cannot pay for services rendered, how would that encourage investors to come in? Because government is a major partner in the supply chain. Without government, no business can flow. So if an investor is coming in to undertake a major infrastructure and is not sure there's no certainty in payment, how would that investor come? Mr. Speaker, that we must consider. There's a clear contradiction in economic management claims. Mr. Speaker, the government continues to insist that the economy is on a path to recovery with improved macroeconomic indicators and restored investor confidence. Mr. Speaker, but that is not what is happening. Whereas you are talking about a stable city, the production, the crop production, the consumers, if you look at producer price, if you look at foodstuffs, there is likely to be a price inflation because the government is not supporting the Ministry of Agri. Look at the budget. The Ministry of Agri was allocated 1.5 billion cedis. Of this, over 900 million is going into compensation. So government is not investing in production. We are talking about having stability in your currency, but in the area of agriculture, you are not making investment there. So over time, you will get exposed. Over
Honorable
time,
Minority.
those resources, food stuff will not be there.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to give me a copy to respond.
No. But I think we are not operating within the rules.
Yes.
Honorable Minority Leader, you are making this under Order 93.
That is so.
With a combined effect of Order 67.
Yes, please.
Reading Order 93 as a whole.
Yes, please.
You are not to provoke debates.
At all. Yes, sir.
But what I am sensing is that the leave granted you is being used as if we are in a political platform.
Oh,
definitely.
No.
Debate will be provoked.
Oh, okay, Mr. Speaker.
By all the assertions
it's okay.
that you are making.
Oh, okay.
So I will want the leave granted you to be used judiciously,
Mr. Speaker,
by raising the matter of public importance.
Mr. Speaker, I take a cue. Mr. Speaker, I've made a promise to myself that I will not be in this give and take. I will take a cue from you and move on the right path. Mr. Speaker, I would take a cue. Mr. Speaker, I would take a cue. Mr. Speaker, my main concern as I bring this matter to our attention is that if care is not taken and the right investment is not made to encourage production, we may end up having to export more, and that would affect the economy the more, and we cannot control it. Mr. Speaker, import the more. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, what plans does the Ministry of Finance have to settle these arrears? Why has government continued to initiate new projects without paying for those already executed? Why are the ministries not receiving that which we have already approved for them? Mr. Speaker, I would want to strongly conclude by saying that the true test of economic management lies not in short-term successes. It lies in a long-term comprehensive policy that looks at all sectors of the economy, including timely releases to ministries to enable the minister to function and function well. The Ministry of Finance must tell this nation something. The ministers must rise up to this occasion by letting us know why they remain silent whilst appropriations meant for them have still not been released to them. Mr. Speaker, I thank you, and I shall yield to the request from my colleague, the Majority Chief Whip, to make available a copy of my statement to him for the purposes of his own input in the statement I've just made. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. for your kindness.
Honourable members, I intend not to open this matter for debate, but once the minister responsible for rules is here, and largely the issue has got to do with payment to contractors. Well, I will give you the floor, and after that we'll move to statements.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. And I would have hesitated in commenting since if this statement was purely about a bad situation, I would have been quiet. But it is difficult for me to understand the basis of this particular statement. Mr. Speaker, just 6 months ago, let us all do a little bit of introspection.
6 months.
Where was this? Hold on. Where was this? Where was this? Let me come. Let me come.
Why indiscipline? Why indiscipline?
Honourable John Dako.
Why is it? Who can?
Mr. Speaker,
Let's listen to each other in
let's do a
silence.
little bit of introspection.
Why are you running?
Few months ago, the prices of foodstuff was going up. Just few months ago, people in this country were complaining almost about everything. Mr. Speaker, few months ago, after implementing planting for food for 8 years. Hold on, because he talked about food. Listen.
When you talk, the camera starts. When you talk, ignore them. Go ahead.
Honorable member for Acrosso.
Shut up when we are resetting the.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You created a mess. We are resetting.
Few months ago, after implementing planting for food for 8 years, your last policy, listen, your last policy was to spend $500 million to import rice.
Yes.
After implementing planting for food for 8 years. What exactly are you talking about here? Hold on.
My brother, member for
today, Mr. Speaker, because he actually spoke passionately about why contractors are not paid. Colleagues, listen. Just this morning, I gave you a snapshot of a little things that happened in my ministry. Where your government paid somebody 30, those contractors who worked and were not paid were there. When you paid a contractor $30 million for no work done.
$30 million.
And that contractor was a contractor that the former vice president actually took and did short cutting and promised everybody. When contractors were working. Listen.
You have created a mess.
Mr. Speaker, in fact, that is why I am demanding that part of the money that I would have used to pay contractors is the $30 million you gave to a contractor for doing no work.
For doing no work.
You see, for doing no work. You ignored those. You ignored those who have worked. You ignored those who have worked for up to 21 billion and you didn't pay them. Yet you were paying a foreign contractor $30 million for doing no work. Mr. Speaker, I am 100% in support of the finance minister to audit the payments before we pay.
Yes.
If I rushed to ask him to pay, the finance minister would have paid additional $14 million to the contractor who you paid the $30 million.
For no work done.
Will you be happy about that? So indeed, we are going to pay contractors, including the contractors in the minority leaders constituency. The only thing I realize is that You are good at identifying contractors who haven't been paid, but you actually forget to pay them all the time. The contractors working towards Winneba, when was the last time they were paid? Mr. Speaker, I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, I am not a selfish minister.
Is it not the Winneba MP?
The ecosystem of the economy is not only about road. It is not merely about give me money to pay road contractors. Road contractors exist within an ecosystem. When you actually spent all the monies and expected that we should be in doom so by now,
Yes.
it is the responsibility of the government to keep the light on. And I am happy that we prioritize and save the situation.
Over $6 billion.
So, Mr. Speaker, I can guarantee you contractors will be paid. Contractors will be paid if you were to add, and the difference
After auditing.
Mr. Speaker, when the leader was speaking, I was quiet.
You're quiet.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing, Mr. Speaker, the only thing I was expecting the respected minority leader to do is that he should have admitted that whilst they were in power, whilst he was sitting in this chair, the dollar was 16 cedis. Today, the dollar is 12 cedis. 11 cedis, 12 cedis. Whilst he was sitting here, inflation was approaching 30%. Today, the inflation is about 18%. Whilst he was sitting in this chair, forgetting to pay contractors, almost all contractors stopped work. Even, let me tell you, I am very happy and I want to commend some contractors. Once you fail to pay them and they stop work, I can tell you a number of contractors who have gone back to site. Just believing that NDC will pay. And of course, some of them have gone back to work. So, Mr. Speaker, this cry, Mr. Speaker, this statement, Mr. Speaker,
Leader, I'll come back to you. Let me finish.
Mr. Speaker, this statement, Mr. Speaker, no, Mr. Speaker, leader, cool down and take it.
Yes.
Cool down and take it. It's Thursday.
Take it smoothly.
You understand? Just this morning, I made you happy. I made you happy that when your government forgot about taking the road to Winneba and the university, we have just planned to do that road for you. And pay the contractors. Mr. Speaker, this statement is not genuine because the basis upon which the statement was made are completely flawed. How can you tell the economy is doing bad when inflation is coming down? When the city is performing very well? When prices of foodstuff is coming down? When prices of transportation is coming down? And let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, how can you say we are not paying? When this house, your own friend, the finance minister, came here, and the day he came, he said, I just paid about 1 billion Ghana cedi to common fund. NHIS is being paid. Get fund is being paid. Even the school feeding that became a problem for you, from now, we are paying them. When was the last time you heard? When was the last time you heard a school feeding contractor complaining? When you were sitting here, all that were happening. You understand? Oh, of course. The ones that are your women organizers when they do.
Honorable Minister.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, I'm afraid to say, Minister, enough is enough. Other than that, my contractors will not be paid. So,
Mr. Speaker, there's confidence in the economy. I can tell you this confidence is not a fluke. President Mahama is on the right path. And I can guarantee you, mark my words, President Mahama will go down on record as the president that delivered the biggest ever road infrastructure in our country within 4 years. Mark it on the wall. And we believe it. And Mr. Speaker, this is not going to be about borrowing. We are going to do that and keep all the indices in check as well.
Thank you.
We are not a reckless government. And Mr. Speaker, we shall do this. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable.
I'm concluding. Just to say that, Mr. Speaker, I agree that, yes, the 21 billion Ghana cedi debt left by the MPP when my good friend was sitting in this chair, we shall begin paying them when we finish auditing. If I rushed, Mr. Speaker, to pay contractors, I would have paid $14 million more on top of the $30 million they paid the contractor who did no work. And that is why we need to be prudent and be more efficient. Road Ministry is not an island in the economy. We are part of the ecosystem, and we shall do the right thing for the people of this country, including the majority leader.
Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.